Hello guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another tutorial. I'm super excited to do tutorials again. School is finally over. I finished my finals. The semester is done. I have one more semester left as an undergrad, so that's pretty cool. And now I finally have time to film some videos. So I'm actually doing prom makeup for 2 girls next month, and I had a banquet myself, which is not a prom because it's college, but it's like a get-together for the whole department, for the theater department that I'm in. And I did this makeup for my banquet, and I loved it so much that I got inspired to do it as like a prom makeup tutorial because it's super simple. I am using 2 palettes and one is discontinued. This is the KathleenlightsXMorphe palette. It's actually the first palette I ever bought for myself. This is limited edition like a year ago and it's definitely sold out, but I did use this shade right here in the palette, so just find something that's similar to that and you'll get the same kind of vibe going on. Otherwise, I mostly use this WinkyLux Kitten palette. This is a $25 palette and I just think this is so great for prom and other things. You can definitely glam it up or make it subtle. So yeah, this is the look I came up with. If you guys want to see how I got this, then just keep watching.
Okay, so I'm starting with the WinkyLux Kitten palette and I'm dipping into this shade Strut, and this is on an IT Cosmetics C7133 brush. This is a pretty dense fluffy brush and I like it for packing on the color. So I'm just blending it into the crease and I'm bringing it up kind of high like I do with all of my looks, and then I'm just doing it quickly on the other side. Next, I'm dipping into the Morphe and Kathleen Lights collab. This came out like a year ago and I'm using this mauve shade in the palette. Again, this was limited edition and it's definitely discontinued. It's been over a year. I love the tone it gives off, and I'm packing this on the outer corner of my eye and bringing it into my crease just very slightly, and I go back into it a few times just to intensify the outer corner because that's really what I'm focusing on here. And then I'm doing the same thing on the other side. I'm just packing on the color and blending it into the crease. And then I'm dipping back into the WinkyLux palette and I'm going into the shade Cheshire, like the Cheshire cat, and I'm just putting this solely on the outer corner. I'm not blending this into the crease much at all, just to intensify the shade out there into a more intense purpley plumish shade. Then I'm dipping back into the shade Strut on that same blending brush and just making sure that all the edges look really nice and blended together. Then I'm dipping back into the palette, and this is my favorite shade. This is the shade Holographic, and if you look at it some ways it's pink, if you look at it some ways it's blue, and other ways it's silver. It is the most unique duochrome shade I've ever seen. So I'm packing this onto the lid with my finger like I do with any lid shade, and I'm actually going to tap it onto the outer corner to blend it instead of taking my brush back into it, just to give it a seamless look so that when you turn your eye it looks kind of glassy on the whole lid. And I'm doing that on the other eye as well. And now moving on to the face. First, I'm using the Becca First Light priming filter and I am putting that onto my face. I have already moisturized, but I just feel like this elongates my makeup the most it can, and if you're doing this for prom then you definitely want that, especially if you're gonna be dancing and taking pictures and stuff. Next, I'm using the Wet n Wild Cushion Foundation in the shade Light Ivory. I like this because it is lightweight and dewy, and I'm just applying this to my face with an Eco Tools blending sponge. And then I'm taking the Becca Undereye Brightening Corrector in the shade Light, and I'm just using this to cover up any dark circles. I don't have many right now, but I know myself, and throughout the night my dark circles peek through quite a bit. And I'm just applying this with my finger to help warm up the product. Next, I'm mixing 2 concealers. I'm using the Milani Retouch and Erase Concealer in the shade Fair. This is pretty close to the foundation shade, so this isn't to highlight that much, but I do love the coverage it gives. It's lightweight, it's very dewy, it makes you look fresh and alive. And then I'm blending that out. I'm just blending out the forehead and my chin and my nose area. I'm saving my under eyes for a bit because I'm going to go back in with that Naked Skin Concealer. This is in the shade Fair Neutral, and this just is to brighten my eyes just a little bit, and then I'm just blending that out as well to give my face a highlighted look. Then I'm using the Cover FX Perfect Setting Powder, and I'm first setting my chin and my forehead and my nose. Then for my under eyes, I do it in 2 steps. I first set the lowest point of my under eyes because I do have such under eye creases. So I set that part first, and then I will go in with a sponge and blend that out, and then I will lightly bake underneath my eyes. Then I'm going in with bronzer. This is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer in the shade Bronzer, and I'm using an Aesthetica's P12 brush. I recently just got this in my BoxyCharm, and I'm absolutely obsessed with it for bronzer. It is such a beautiful, soft brush, and it applies the bronzer so effortlessly. I'm just applying this to my temples as well. Then I'm going in with blush, and I'm using this Tarte Little Mini Blush in the shade Unstoppable. It is kind of a brighter or deeper blush than I'm used to, but I really like it, and I'm just using a Wet n Wild blush brush. They're like 99 cents at Walmart. Then I'm going in and I'm trying to finish the eyes. This is the Creme Gel liner from Colourpop in the shade Mr.Bing. I look absolutely horrible when I put on eyeliner in videos, so I try to like take as little bit of this as I could. And then I'm going back into that mauve shade from the Kathleen Lights palette, and I'm using an IT Cosmetics C7133 brush. Again, this is the smudger brush from this cool little line they have, and I'm just smudging that on the lower lash line. And I'm trying to connect that to the little wing we made before. Then I'm dipping back into Cheshire, and I'm putting this literally just on the outer corner, and I'm stamping it just on the outer corner, as you can see there. I don't go any farther in. And then I take our blending brush and I go back in with the shade Strut and just blend everything together so it looks pretty seamless. I went off camera and did my eyebrows because, you know. And then I'm taking this Pure Cosmetics highlighter from their Sculptor palette in the shade Originator. I like this. This is a pretty subtle highlight, but I think in the right light it looks really blinding and beautiful, and I think for photos this is going to be really pretty as well. And I forgot to take video of it, but I did put this on my nose and on my Cupid's bow as well, and I'm just highlighting my inner corners with this. Now I'm putting on mascara. This is my favorite mascara of all time. This is the Tarte Maneater. I just think this makes the lashes look so incredibly long and beautiful, and you don't have to worry about it getting clumpy. You can build it up as much as you want, and it will just continue to lengthen and volumize your lashes. So as always, this is a comparison shot, one with, one without mascara, and I just think like the results are amazing. Then I'm going back into lips. This is the Wet n Wild Gel Lip Liner in the shade Bear to Comet. These are some of my favorite lip liners of all times. They're just so creamy and pigmented, and they go on like butter. And then I'm using the Jouer lip stick in the shade Terra, and I'm just applying this above that lip liner.
Okay guys, that completes this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe if you want to. I will be uploading regularly, I promise, and I'll come up with some really cool things. So thank you guys again, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!